everyone, hope you're all doing good, and today I'm going to be doing a Killswitch Engage discography ranking. Now, Killswitch Engage have been one of my favourite bands for quite a few years now, ever since I discovered them in 2018. They've just risen up to one of my favourite bands, and I would have liked to have done this ranking a little bit earlier, when the latest album come out, but unfortunately I never really got round to it. But it was around about a year ago when the latest album came out, so I thought it probably would be a good time to do the ranking now. And yeah, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. Since I'm such a huge fan of this band, I know all their albums like the back of my hand, so I've done this ranking on just pure gut feeling, just pure vibes, just to see where I felt each album should be. And also I'll just say that I don't think they've done a bad album in their whole discography. Even the ones at the bottom I still think are pretty good. And obviously one has to come at the bottom, and for me I have got their self-titled from 2009. And of course this is the last album to feature Howard Jones on the vocals. And yeah, I just think this one's a little bit of a step down to the ones that they had done, you know, the other two with Howard on the vocals. And yeah, I just think this album's just a little bit more of a step down compared to what their normal quality is. However, I still think there's some good songs on here, like the opening track Never Again's good, The Forgotten, Reckoning I do like The Return as well. Save Me and Lost I think are really good songs. But yeah, I think for what it is, I think it's decent, but not as good as some of their other albums. So that's why I've got that one at the bottom. In 8th, I've got Incarnate from 2016. Again, I think this album's actually a bit top heavy. First half of it is actually really good. You've got songs like Alone I Stand, Hate by Design, Cut Me Loose, Strength of the Mind, excellent. Embrace the Journey, I think it's a pretty cool song. But then the second half I think is where it falls away a little bit. You've got Quiet Distress, Until the Day, It Falls on Me. I like The Great Deceit, and the last song Ascension is pretty good. But I just think the second half of the album's just a little bit inconsistent. A couple of the songs more on the Killswitch Engage kind of vibe. But yeah, definitely the first half is excellent, and definitely some live staples in there. At number 7, I have got As Daylight Dies from 2006. And I think a lot of people probably think this is a little bit too low. However, just my gut feeling, it just brought it down just a little bit, because again, I would say the same as Incarnate, it's a bit like top heavy, this album. And the second half, I don't think it's quite as good. But I mean, you've got two of their massive singles on here, The Arms of Sorrow and My Curse, and them two are probably two of their best songs, and most commercially successful songs as well. But yeah, we have Daylight Dies, This Is Absolution, Unbroken, For You, some really great deep cuts there on the first half of the album. The second half, as I said, it's just a little bit weaker, let's say, but I still like Eye of the Storm. I think that song's really good. Break the Silence, I've always kind of enjoyed that song. And then of course on the expanded edition, you get This Fire Burns, which is quite a famous song, because CM Punk used to use that song as his walkout. And then they do the cover of Holy Diver, which is another great live staple. So yeah, overall I think it's a good album, it's a great album, but again I think I just prefer other albums. Moving on, at number 6 I have got Atonement from 2019, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for this album because it was the first album that I ever got by them when I first got into them, and I loved it straight away. You've got songs like Unleashed, The Signal Fire, which features Howard Jones, The Crownless King, that features Chuck Billy from Testament. That's a good song. I like the fact that they sort of brought back a bit more of the rawness on this album, a bit more thrashiness about some of the songs. Yeah, I like As Sure As The Sun Will Rise. I think that's a really cool song. Know Your Enemy, Take Control. I really like that one because it's quite a positive motivational song, that. And Killswitch always like to add songs like that into, especially Jesse Leach with his lyric. Ravenous, the last song, Bite the Hand That Feeds. It's a really solid album. I think it's a bit underrated, this album. I think it's a lot better than I think some people would say. And yeah, definitely one of my favourites, and definitely an album that has crept up over time, and obviously with my soft spot bias for it. Just moving into the top 5 now, and I've got Disarm the Descent from 2013, and this is the first one to feature the return of Jesse Leach on the vocals, and some people will say this is a return to form, and especially after the self-titled from the previous album, the self-titled, I think this is a massive step up. Great guitar tone on this album. It's really heavy, really raw. Yeah, they went back to that old school Killswitch sound on this one and mixed it with a bit of like what they had done on the Howard Jones albums. And yeah, Jesse sounds great on here. He sounds really raw, and his vocals definitely improved from the early albums. But yeah, some great songs on here like The Hell in Me, Beyond the Flames, A New Awakening, In Due Time, all fantastic. And then towards the end of the album, you've got You Don't Bleed For Me, The Core, No End in Sight, always such a good song. And then ends with Time Will Not Remain. Yeah. Some people probably would even put this a bit higher than 5th, but for me, it's in the top 5 for definite, and only just moved down by the latest album, This Consequence. And again, maybe this is a bit recency bias, but again, when this come out, I just absolutely loved it, and even a year later, I still absolutely adore this album, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. From the first song, Abandon Us, Discordant Nation, Aftermath, Forever Aligned. I think that my favourite song on the album still is The Fall of Us. I think that song's fantastic. I really like Broken Glass, even though I think it's a little bit too short. And then the last song, Requiem, is another great song. And yeah, this album a year later is still great. I still really enjoy it. And yeah, it's still my number 4. Now moving up to the top 3, and in 3rd place I have got the self-titled album. Although this isn't the self-titled album, this is a live album, and where they play Atonement in full and they play the debut album in full. So technically I don't have it, but I have the track list in here. And yeah, what I love about the self-titled debut album from 2000 is how raw and heavy it is. I think it's probably the rawest and heaviest thing they've ever done, and I just love the aggression of it. It's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, some of my favourite tracks are The Temple From Within and Ved Infra, which they re-recorded for Alive or Just Breathing. Irreversal, Soil Burn is an excellent song, really heavy. Numb Sickened Eyes, Into the Unblind. Yeah, it's a great debut album, and I think it gets a little bit overlooked. But yeah, definitely if you're looking for a bit more of a bite and a bit more like rawness from Killswitch Engage, you can't go wrong with the debut album. But I must pick it up at some point. Okay, now entering the top 2, and I think for a lot of people these are 1 and 2, but it depends on what order you have them in. For me, at number 2, I have The End of Heartache from 2004, and this is the first album to feature Howard Jones on the vocals. And again, I'll say exactly the same as I did in the Megadeth ranking, if you saw that. Number 1 and number 2, you know, it's understandable if you have them, you know, this way round or the other way round, because they're both amazing albums and they're both almost, I'd say, as good as each other. And you can definitely make a case for one or the other to be one, definitely. But yeah, I mean, this album, the production, the guitar tone, everything about this album is almost perfect, I'd say. The first song, A Bid Farewell, great opener. Then it goes into Take This Oath, When Darkness Falls, The Rose of Sharon, which is one of my favourite Killswitch songs. It's awesome. The End of Heartache is one of their big singles, one of their most popular songs, and I mean, I can't deny that. Then Declaration, World Ablaze, excellent, and then it ends with Hope Is, which is another really cool song. It's got some really heavy riffs in that song. Yeah, excellent all round this, excellent musicianship and vocals from Howard as well, brilliant vocals, and yeah, this is my number 2. At number 1, that leaves Alive or Just Breathing, and yeah, again, this could be people's number 1 or number 2 depending on how it goes. But what I love about this album is that it's not quite as raw as the debut, but it's a big step up in terms of production and just songwriting, and honestly, it's so close between this and the debut, but I think this one just edges it out for me. And obviously this is the last album to feature Jesse until he returned in 2012. But yeah, so many great songs on here, like Numbered Days and Self-Revolution, Fixation on the Darkness, My Last Serenade, which they still play today, Life to Lifeless, which when I first saw them in 2018, they played that song and I was blown away. I thought it was awesome. Just Barely Breathing, and yeah, To the Sons of Man, excellent. And then we have The Element of One, and the 2 songs they re-recorded from the debut, and then the last song, Rise Inside. Cool way to sort of end the album, bit of an epic outro song. Yeah, just fantastic album. So that was my Killswitch Engage ranking. I'd love to know your thoughts on my ranking, and I'd love to see how you would rank the Killswitch albums in the comments below. Got plenty more stuff to come on the channel this month. I'll probably do CD update or something like that next time, and I'm hoping to do more rankings in the future. I'm hoping to do Testament, Lamb of God and Exodus when the new albums come out. Obviously Testament's already out, but yeah, I'll look to do those rankings over the course of this year, or the first half of the year maybe. And yeah, lots of other stuff to come. Hope you stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next time, keep it metal.